Mm.
ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः गुकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्मविद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च Shreyas and what is the other one? Pray for us. If we choose this, then please pray for us. Prayers. So these are actually not two different pursuits. In a way, yes, on the relative level, you can say that they are two different pursuits. One is the pursuit of the relative, and the other one is the pursuit of that which is absolute. But this is a very surface level reading of this. We can't just, we can use this particular logic to get a sense, to understand, or to get a grip of what this means. This is just a starting point. We cannot end here. And there is a certain aruchi, because here we are trying to talk about how there is no duality. We are all into non-duality. And then what is happening? Here we are making a big distinction. Preyas and Shreyas, there are these two things. And then what should you pursue? You should pursue Shreyas and not Preyas. This is what we are doing. Now, that's why it's much more complicated than just to say, I have to shun Preyas and then embrace Shreyas. Even though that's true. That is the beginning point. But it is not something so cut and dry. Like you go to the doctor and the doctor says, alas, you have, what is that called? Triglycerides, cholesterol, bad cholesterol. So you must not eat this. No trans fat, no this kind of fat, and only good fat, because there is something called good cholesterol, and that we need a little more of, and this one needs to go way, way down. So avoid these things, and then you'll be okay. Avoid all the things that you love. Samosas, bye bye. Pakodas, bye bye. Bondas, bye bye. Everything, bye bye. And then you'll be okay. It's not so cut and dry here. This is not that kind of a situation. Okay, this diet is bad for you. You avoid all these things and you'll be all right. I wish it were like that. But whatever you avoid in Brahma Vidya, you have to face it, starting with yourself. You have to face it, because really speaking, there is the crux of Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya in short means what? There is nothing to avoid. There is nothing to approach. There is nothing to shun. There is nothing to embrace. There is nothing other than you. So what you avoid is what? You. What you embrace is what? You. All that is there is you. There is nothing other than you. There is nothing outside of you. There is nothing at all. All that is there is you. And so therefore, therefore, even though it's true on the relative level, yes, so the pursuit of moksha or the truth of oneself is unlike any other pursuit. In fact, that pursuit is a very special pursuit. All this you can say. But we are talking on the level of the relative, the empirical reality. We are not talking at the level of paramarthika or the absolute. So, from the standpoint of the day to day, then you can say that this is the starting point. There are two things called Shreyas and Preyas. You see Lord Yama teaching that. Anyat Shreyah, Anyadutaiva Preyah, Te Ubhe Nanarthe Purushassinitah. This is all on the empirical level. Very different is Preyas. O Nachiketa, very different is Shreyas. And at the same time, by the same person, both of these cannot be pursued simultaneously by the same person. Why? Because they bring in different results, completely different results. It's like saying, I am going to the mall and I'm also going to meditate. Where? At the mall. At the mall, you'll go and meditate. And there are no more, there are malls now because everybody is buying things online. But when there used to be malls and people used to go, it used to be or the village fair. You don't go to meditate in the village fair. So if you say, I'm going to go, it's my affair, don't come in the middle. I'm going to go to the village fair and sit and meditate. And what will I say? Fair enough. Go ahead. And then when you go to the village fair, what will happen? You can't enjoy, neither can you meditate. That is exactly what Shreyas and Preyas, following them by the same person simultaneously, is like. You have to keep your sanity at home and then decide to pray in the mall or in the movie theater or in the village fair. Because those are completely different pursuits. You cannot say, just like opposed to one another. And that's what Adi Shankara wants to bring home in the Bhashya. It's opposed to one another, just like Samaf Prakashavat, like even the light and darkness are opposed to one another. You cannot say, I'm going to fast today because it is Shivaratri. Oh, wonderful. But I'm also going to eat. And what is this? How is this possible? This is exactly the predicament, the person of accommodation. I have space in my life for Shreyas and I have space in my life for prayers also. This is the problem. But why can't I pursue it at the same time? I just told you because it is opposed to one another. Just like ignorance is opposed to knowledge. You cannot be knowledgeable and ignorant about the same thing at the same time, can you? You can't. You're either ignorant or you're knowledgeable. And so this is a very difficult predicament. And therefore, we have to start somewhere. And we start in our daily lives. Therefore, these two paths are the kind of paths, choices, life choices. One of them is very lively. Both the paths you can only see up till here. Very, very lively. And lot of people, just lot of things happening, not a moment of silence, lot of engagement. Somebody is selling, somebody is buying, somebody is crying, somebody is singing, somebody is dancing. There's always something for the senses. Of course, somebody is also running around screaming, ha ha, muncha muncha, free me, Frahimam, Pahimam, protect me, help, help. But that's easy to ignore. You can say, oh, it's something wrong with that fellow, had a hard day, and that's why it's like this. That's kind of easy to ignore. You can just say, okay, fine, no problem at all. Go. Then we have the then we have the other path. This path is so lively, so noisy. The other path is quiet, very quiet, not much activity at all. And once in a while, you see a flash of orange, some sannyasi going around. Which will you choose? Naturally, the first one, because there is safety in numbers. That is how one becomes a manda. This is what we are told in the second verse. There is safety in numbers, and there is safety in numbers. That's why one chooses this. Oh, my grandmother did this. My grandfather did this. My great grandmother did this. My great grandfather did this. And we are a family that prays together. That's why we stay together. So we don't pray together, we pray yes together. And so we caucus around these prayers and we pray yes together. And this is the family legacy. Look around, has anyone pursued Vedanta? No, what is even, how to even spell Vedanta? Why should I do that? Nobody. And so this is some kind of a strange loyalty. And so out of a sense of loyalty, out of a sense of kind of what's that, some impetus, impelled by some obligation, a sense of doom perhaps, some kind of a dysfunctional set of relationships. One is even afraid to get into Vedanta, afraid to go into the class or the classroom. Oh, no. I don't want to be converted. Somebody said this. I laughed. I said, converted into what? Into yourself. There is no conversion here. In fact, right now you are converted. You have been converted by self ignorance into something unrecognizable, even to yourself. Vedanta doesn't convert. Vedanta just lays bare this conversion that already happened through some certain coercion. This conversion has already happened. Conversion to embrace a whole lot of falsehoods about the truth of myself. I just am believing in all kinds of wrong things. I'm never enough. I'm not okay. I have to keep apologizing for every step I take, for every breath I take, for every noise I make. And I can't quit getting into dysfunctional relationships because apparently I appear to need them in order to have a sense of self, in order to just be there, in order to just be okay. And since these relationships are dysfunctional, they take a lot out of me, and I have to keep recuperating from participating in these needless dance and drama. Really speaking, I don't want the drama. What do you want? Drama. That's what I want. I want to take the D out of drama. 3D. Okay. I just want drama. Really speaking, that's what I want. But then why are you doing this? Well, everybody in my family does this. Or, I just, somebody also, this is another example. Somebody went to Pujya Swamiji and said, I will attend your classes, but then I have to take my father's permission. How old are you? Puja Swamiji asked. 55. Father is 85. Tathastu. What else can you say? Even the Guru has to be quiet at this point. So there are so many reasons. There are myriads of reasons not to pursue prayers. Because Shreyas, because it appears to be scary. If you look at these two paths, oh my God, of course I want the first one that we talked about. I want the one that is full of activity. The other one, I'll get bored and then I'll just get so tired and bored, I can't stand it. I'll want to run away. I need to be distracted at all times. I need something or the other. I'm restless. I am just always in need of something or the other to keep me forgetting. Forgetting what? How much I have compromised. How much I have thrown my life away in order to just get some validation from a few people. How my whole life choices have just been hinging on some kind of a sense of approval from somebody or the other. Accolades, approval, want this, want that, have to go here, have to go there. This is what I'm used to. This is what I want. So therefore what? Therefore, I always make the wrong choice. This is how it is. To that person, these two verses are addressed. Because that person is still in the grip of the self-ignorance. And being in the grip of self-ignorance, this person is really, really in need of help because the person is making wrong choices. So an attempt to show how that choice is wrong. These two scenarios of Shreyas and Preyas are presented by Lord Yama. And Lord Yama also gives a hint, doesn't leave it like a quiz, gives a hint what to choose. By saying the one who chooses Shreyas, Sadhu Bhavati. Sadhu Bhavati means Shobhanam, that choice is Shobhanam. Shobhanam means very, very auspicious. Beautiful choice. Why is this choice beautiful choice? Because when you choose Shreyas, it is Artha. What is Artha? Paramartha. Artha is short form for Paramartha. Paramartha means the Lord, Paramatma. Paramartha, the absolute, the end that is absolute, that is Narayana. Narasya Ayanam Narayana, the goal of every human being. That is Paramartha, because that is the source of security. What is Ishvara? You. You understanding yourself as one with Ishvara is the only source of security and happiness. Nothing else will suffice. So therefore, the second choice, where there are just a few flashes of orange and it's all hush, hush, quiet and nothing much is going on and everybody seems to be contented, is the obvious choice, even though it's like taking what did we talk about earlier, the feeding bottle away from this inner child, which is used to, which is addicted to the not the milk, the hope of the milk. It's an empty feeding. And you see this. You go to this animal sanctuary. I went once when I was long back. I went, and then when I went there, there were these three lions. The mother lioness had died, and so the keepers are feeding them. Put them on your lap, and then you stick a feeding bottle in their mouth. Oh, it was so cute a sight. These little cubs purring and then drinking the milk. But then they would get very angry if after the milk was finished, the keeper tried to pry the bottle from the mouth. No, 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 no. They would hiss, they would scratch, they would scream, but they would hold on to this bottle. And When you see the lion cub doing it, it is cute. When we do it, it is uncute. Okay, this is not at all cute. Totally uncute. Why? We should know better. We are all grown up now. We should know better. We should know better how to prioritize the life. This is what we should know. And so Manda here is somebody who is wedded to mediocrity because they are afraid of discovering their own glory. That is the reason to make the wrong choice. But why are you wedded to mediocrity? Because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of success. Oh, I thought people are afraid of failure. No, no, no. I'm afraid of failure and I'm afraid of success also. Therefore, I play it safe. I damp my enthusiasm down. I want to be invisible. These are all childhood patterns. Childhood patterns. Perhaps the caregivers were very domineering and they wanted to shine, and so the child felt that it had to just take a back seat. And that vritti, that kind of a tendency is still operating. Even though one is no longer a child, the shadow of the shadow child is always there in the background unless it is taken care of. But whose child is this shadow child? Shadow child is the child of Atma Avidya, self ignorance. It is the child of self ignorance. It's not your child, it's the product of self ignorance. You have to grow it up. Even though if it is tempting to give it to the significant other to babysit, that won't work. Why? For every child that you want to outsource to a friend or the significant other and the friend will have twice the number of children to give to you. You won't be able to manage their progeny, and in the same way, they will not be able to manage your inner children. Therefore, the choice matters. Choices really, really matter, and the Kathopanishad is all about this. It sets the tone for the entire Upanishad, the themes of Shreyas and praise. Shreyas is a cognitive shift. In the Bhagavad Gita, also it is talked about, even though it is not said in so many words, although the Bhagavad Gita is a clone of the Kathopanishad. Some of the verses are taken verbatim. And the word Shreyas also comes when Arjuna asks for the knowledge in the beginning of the second chapter. Yat Shreyas Syat Nishchitam Bruhi Me. Chisyaste ham shadhi mam tvam prapannam. Aham tvam prapannam. I who has surrendered to you. Tvam prapannam mam. Unto me who has surrendered unto you. Please give me that which is Shreyas. He says that. Even though because of the Sandhi, Yat plus Shra, the Takara and the Shakara meeting one another makes it Cha. Yat Shreyas Syat. Because of a rule of how the consonants come together. So don't say, oh, here it is Shreya, there it is Shreya. It must be Shreyas. So it's a different word. No, it's the same thing. Same thing. Yat Shreyas Syat Nishchitam Bruhi Tanme. Tell me definitively so that there is, don't just do the thing that you do all the time. Krishna says, what do I do all the time? You don't come, you are very diplomatic. You don't commit to anything. Here I want a definitive answer. Don't play the Krishna game. Tell me for certain what I should choose in order to make the most exalted pursuit in my life. So the word Shreyas comes there also. And the Lord says in response, also in the second chapter, व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि कुरु एका व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि कुरु इह व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि कुरु हे कुरु नंदन व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि ही व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धि means the choice of Shreyas is described as an attitude of Vyavasaya. Vyavasaya in colloquial Sanskrit means agriculture, but here it's a technical term for Shreyas. It's a technical term for Nishchayatmika Buddhi. Nishchayatmika Buddhi means a Buddhi that is unwavering, a Buddhi that has decided to take the path that is going to take one away from samsara, not towards samsara. And that choice is Shreyas. Why? Because prayers is dead ends, a series of dead ends that leaves you dead end. It's like you're driving. You say, oh, that road looks good, let me go there. Dead end. Oh, okay. No outlet. Come back. Then you come back. And then, oh, let's take this turn. No outlet. Come back. You're in the maze of samsara. Everything is a dead end because every pursuit here, everything, whatever you pursue, is finite. And the infinite cannot be pursued as an object, just like the same way you pursue the finite. The infinite is a matter of knowing because it's an already gained end. That is Shreyas, an end that is already gained. And first thing is, this must be known. And if the end is already gained, then how come I'm not enjoying it? Where is it? Because it is obfuscated, it is hidden under layers of wrong understanding. And that misapprehension is removed through a committed exposure to Atmajnanam, self-knowledge. That's all there is. It's really what this is all about. That's what Shreyas is. And if this is understood, then the priorities have rightened themselves. Life is now on the correct course. Otherwise, बहुशाखाह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनाम् यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवदन्त्यविपश्चितः वेदवादरताः पार्थ नान्यदस्तीति वादिनः तामात्मानः स्वर्गपराः जन्मकर्मफलप्रदां क्रियाविशेषबहुलां भोगैश्वर्यगतिं प्रति भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां दयापहृतचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते. This long passage is also soon after this discussion of Nishchayatmika Buddhi, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. It comes after this long discussion. And what is this discussion here? If you don't choose Shreyas, the Bhagavad Gita, please listen to the Bhagavad Gita's version of the state of affairs. What will happen? Bahushakhaha anantaha cha buddhayah avyavasayina. Avyavasayina means the ones of no who haven't made the correct priorities, who have not prioritized their life to remove Atma Ajnanam. Then what happens? Many branched means Bahushakha. Many branched are their pursuits. And then infinite is their pursuit. It's not the pursuit of the infinite that is safe, because then the pursuit itself is finite when you seek the infinite. But instead, if you become an infinite seeker, that means you are endlessly seeking finite things. So, anantaha cha. Anantaha cha means the pursuit is ananta. It is many, varied, and endless pursuits. One falls into a pit of all kinds of a spiral of pursuits, wrong pursuits, dead end pursuits. And then what? One succumbs to flowery talk, whether it is from a person who wants to marry that person, or whether it is a friend, or still worse, if it is some kind of a fly by night religious leader or some kind of a cult operation. That is also there. Lot of flowery talk. And sometimes people change their voice also. Those who know don't talk. Those who talk don't know. And then they'll talk for 1 hour, okay? And you can you can then conclude. So all this shenanigans, because one goes after the bling, one goes after anything that shines, just like a small child. Some bauble. That's all. One gets attracted to that. One gets attracted to crowds. Oh, so many people are following this person. Oh no, that means they are good. They may be good, but what are they talking? Or they may just be saying something which the person likes to hear. Maybe they're just bamboozling. In India, several of them are behind bars, apprehended by the authorities, and some of them are on the lam. Means they are not traceable because they have made use of the people's gullibility and financially exploited them. So one succumbs to flowery talk and becomes extremely vulnerable, financially vulnerable, because these people keep saying, yes, I will remove your karma. It's just that we have to do something for $25,000. You just give, and all your karma will be restored to you. The different kind of wonderful karma will come, and then the bad karma will be taken away. People say this. This is a reality. It is there. Just about 5 years ago, one person was apprehended in Atlanta and was indicted. This is how it is. So one comes under the spell of powerful, uh, preyous people who are pretending to be Shreyas people and who are misleading. And what do they say? They are all into the first portion of the Veda. Vedavada rataha means they are only into the first portion of the Veda. Hey Partha, na anyadasti iti vadinah. They say, oh, what Vedanta, Shmedanta, just, do this yajna and get this and give me a fee. No, but what about Vairagya? Oh, you want Vairagya? I'll give you Vairagya. Give me all your money. You have Vairagya instantly, no problem. This is a very quick way to Vairagya. So, this is the thing. And then they have all this flowery talk, all these, the first portion of the Veda, which is just a treatise on wish fulfillment. That is what is completely followed. Vedanta is not even in the picture. And they also say there's nothing in Vedanta. Don't go there. Nothing is there. What moksha? Have moksha instead. No problem. Then what? Then they, kamatmanah. Kamatmanah means they themselves, the so-called self-professed leaders who are misleading you. Or maybe it is a mentor, or maybe it is in your own family, somebody you admire. They're all kamatmanah. Those who mislead you are kamatmanaha. Kamatmanaha means embodiments of desire. Desire incarnate. Svargaparaha. They are headed somewhere all right. Where do they want to go? The same place where Vajashrava wanted to go. Heaven. The far outreaches of heaven, aka Brahmaloka. That's their destiny, not the truth of the self. Then they are all into Kriya Vishesha Bahula. They are just into a lot of activity. And what is the focus of these activities? The focus is twofold. Bhoga, consumption and enjoyment, Aishwarya, power. Bhoga and Aishwarya. And for the people who are into Bhoga and Aishwarya, Prasakta means who are addicted to Bhoga and Aishwarya, power, pelf, and enjoyment. Then Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadhau na vidhiyate. For this kind of a buddhi that we are talking about, Shreyo Abhimukha Buddhi, a buddhi that is facing Shreyas is impossible to come by for someone who has become addicted to karma phala, a karma phala holic, and a person who is just by default fallen into the pursuit called prayas. Never is the very, very difficult it is to extricate themselves. But that's exactly what needs to be done. How? And here are some steps. First step is to recognize that the infinite cannot be had by the pursuit of the finite. Anatma pursuit. When I pursue the not I as, as the end, then what happens? The end. Nothing more to talk about. Nothing more to talk about. It is the end. Because it is finite. It comes to an end. So the not I, the pursuit of the not I is pursuit of Nama Rupa Kevala. Nama Rupa Matram, meaning only Nama Rupa if you pursue. This is what happens. Every object is a Nama, it has a Nama and has a Rupa, has a name and a form. And if you fall for the name and the form, then what you are pursuing is an empty shell. A shell, that's what you are pursuing. Whereas understanding this, that the end of this, what is it going to come? What is the end of this pursuit? Heartache. As Suresh Varacharya in his Brihadaranya Kavartika puts it, Viyogantaha sarve samyogaha. All coming together, all fusion is just until it falls apart. All coming together, all every union is until separation. That's what it is. So there is nothing permanent. This understanding makes one seek the permanent, and the permanent is not an object to be sought. So it is myself alone. It is a permanence that's already gained. So it is not about going and doing something to gain it. It is not to be gained, it is to be known as already gained. If it is to be known as already gained, I have to do something. I have to do something about it. What? Cognitively, I have to understand that it's already gained. Why don't I understand it? Because the not I is filled up the head. That's what. The pursuit of prayas is coming in the way of Shreyas. Do you see how they are two opposite pursuits now? If the head is filled with prayas, then there is no room for Shreyas. And Shreyas not being opposed to anything, just it's okay, it's fine. Life after life, lifetime after lifetime goes away, and then there is nothing happening. This Atma is unopposed to even your ignorance. It just shines the light on it. That's why you say, I know, I don't know. That's what it is. This all-knowing I is shining the light on ignorance, including self-ignorance. And when self-ignorance comes to light, you immediately want to get rid of it, and that's just wonderful. Everybody is a mumukshu, but it's not enough to be a generic mumukshu anymore. Generic mumukshu means Somehow, somewhere, I feel tired, I feel bound. And what is this family life? And what is this job? And what is this thing? And where is it leading me? I want out, I want out. This is the generic mumukshu. But if you want to be other, this everybody has. But how to pursue this? How to pursue this freedom is not known. That's why there is a quantum leap, kind of like what Hanumanji took from India to Sri Lanka. A leap of Shraddha from Mumukshu to Jignasu. I take a big jump. From Mumukshu to Jignasu, I jump. That is the jump, really. Just wonderful. That is the jump. Jignasu, desirer and seeker of knowledge. Mumukshu, seeker of freedom. Why is it a quantum leap? Because I have connected that seeking this freedom is nothing but seeking knowledge. A seeker of freedom I am, but I am a seeker of freedom in the form of this knowledge alone. That is the beauty of this. And that is the next step, is first to recognize that there is something wrong in the pursuit and to understand that I have to get away from the not I and focus on the I. The I not being an object is understood through the words of the Shastra, delivered and handled by the teacher, and that is how it is assimilated. This I have to understand, that's the next step. But then what about all these not I, not I, not I, not I, not I? Oh, what about this anatma? It doesn't go away because as we saw, it is jnana dhyasa, not artha dhyasa. It doesn't go away. It is here. And so, but I have to pay the bills. I still am in this family life, and I have duties, I have obligations. What about all of them? I also ask back the same question. What about them? Uh, no, no, no. What you are saying? I just want to. You are saying just come and follow Shreyas. Come to the orange path, and then if you and then we are not ready for the orange path. We kind of like that cacophony over there. At least there is safety in numbers. But you're miserable. That's okay. We are all miserable together. Misery loves what? Something. Company. Yeah. Misery loves company. And so let's all be miserable together. Are you happy now? No, I told you I'm miserable. So what other choice is there? What other choice is there? You've no other choice. From mediocrity, if you have to extricate yourself, you have to have a change of vision. And that change of vision requires to put that change of vision into operation at the level of your own action and your own choices requires a leap, requires some courage. That's why it is dhira, a person of wisdom. Whereas the manda, the dull one, the one who always goes for the safe choices, does so why? Yoga kshemat vrinite. Apraptasya prapanam yoga. This is the the word yoga occurs with kshema, it is a technical expression. Yoga kshema. Apraptasya prapanam yoga. The gain of that which I do not have and badly want is called yoga. Not true of yogasanas, okay? I may not have them, but it doesn't come. So that we are not talking of asanas. We are talking of things that I want, pursuits that I want, whose ends are very, very delightful to me, but I don't yet have them under the belt. Apraptasya prapanam yoga. And then what is kshema? Praptasya rakshanam kshema. Protecting what I already have is kshema. Gaining what I don't have is yoga. Getting rid of what I already have but I didn't want anyway, That is also included in yoga. Keeping at bay what I don't want is also included in kshema, like gray hair, wrinkles, aches and pains, all that. Don't want, don't want, don't want. And then I have to keep them at bay. Eat goji berries. That's all we can say. Antioxidants. 10, 15 years ago, nobody even knew what goji berry is. And now, in the Himalayas itself, you don't find them. They have been over harvested. Very sad. And so this is because people want to live all the time. You want to live healthy. You want to live long. Nothing wrong. But the attitude. Are you living in order to eat, or are you eating in order to live? That is that is what it comes down to. If you live in order to eat and in order to get do this, do that, then it's just a waste of a life because you're just a tourist. What kind of a tourist? A tourist in the realm of prayers, in the realm of the finite. You just flit like a little social butterfly from one flower to another, and that's the whole life gone. Shreyas is something else. We have to say that in the beginning, but that's just the beginning. So the fear of not getting what I want and the fear of not being able to keep at bay what I don't want, the fear of not being able to protect what I have gained with a lot of difficulty and I continue to want it, and the fear of not being able to get rid of what I don't want keeps me tied to mandatva, mandata, mediocrity, dull, not wanting to rock the boat. Oh no, 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 what will happen? Oh no, 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 this can't take this risk. This is a big risk. If I don't do this, I won't get that. And if I don't do that, I won't get this. Oh no, 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 what is what is the dividend? How much will I get back? What should I do? Panic, 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 panic all the time. This is the sad reality of most of the people. Wedded they are, not to their significant others, but everybody is wedded to mediocrity, married to mediocrity. That's what it is. And then so mediocre choices and fearful choices, not wanting to rock the ship. Why? Because I may not be able to get what I want. What is it that you want? Oh, I want a promotion. What will happen if you have promotion? What will happen? I will be more admired by my peers. And those bosses who are bossing me around, I'll show them a thing or two. I want a promotion. Why do you want a promotion? What will happen when you show them a thing or two? And what will happen if your peers admire you? I'll feel happy. So, do you want a promotion or do you want to be happy? Well, I want to be happy, but I'm convinced that it is through a promotion only I will be happy. This is what is the mediocre thinking. Then the fear of losing something, that's another thing. Oh, everything. I know my life is boring, but at least it is boring. At least there is a life to call it boring. And so I should just reproduce this life and not want anything extra because what if I lose this also? That is again a yoga kshema pursuit. Very sad. Very, very, very sad. And so these are the ways one keeps stuck in the default choice called prayers. But then how to jump from prayers to shreyas? It's a cognitive shift. It's a cognitive shift. No, but I can't stop pursuing the finite. Pursue the finite, but with a different understanding. Pursue the finite on the way to the infinite. This is just the example that I give all the time. The person is heading to the airport, but has a lot of time on their hands, makes a few stops. First goes to the grocery store, picks up something to eat because they don't feed you on the plane. Then finds out there is more time, and goes and drops off the laundry at the laundromat. When they're at the grocery store, where are they going? Airport. When they're at the laundromat, where are they headed? Airport. And then they find they have still more time. So they say, oh, let me just go visit a friend who lives near the airport. And then what will the friend say? Just come here. I will take you to the airport. You can park the car in my house. When you're at the friend's house, what do you want to do? Go to the airport. That airport is not lost. That destiny is you. That destination is not. One never loses sight of that. You may make a million stops. You don't lose sight of the fact that this is where I'm headed. That is Shreyas. And when you head to Shreyas, Preyas is taken care of. Oh, you just say that. But how will you convince me that it's going to be taken care of? I have bills to pay. Sannyasis don't have any bills to pay. That's why, unfortunately, they are not very credible if they sit and talk these things. So, how can you convince me? I won't convince you at all. I don't have any reason to convince you. I will just quote the Bhagavad Gita and let Bhagavan do the job. And where does this verse come that you are going to quote? I'm going to quote a verse right from the middle of the 9th chapter, which is the middle of the Bhagavad Gita. A very famous verse. Ananyashchintayanto mam ye janav paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Beautiful verse. Absolutely wonderful verse. Yogakshemam, same Yogakshemam. I told you the Gita is just lifted. The Gita is plagiarized the Kathopanishad without apology or credit. Yogakshemam vahami aham, Lord Krishna is made to say by Bhagavan Vyasa. Lord Krishna says, vahami, I am the carrier. I will carry. What are you going to carry? Yoga and Kshema. Oh, your own yoga Kshema. No, your yoga and Kshema. How many people's yoga and Kshema you can carry? I can carry endless numbers of people's yoga and Kshema. Why? Because I'm Bhagavan. That's why I will carry the yoga and Kshema. Oh, then I'm unemployed. What should I do? What should I do? You study Vedanta. That is your job. Swadhyayodhyetavya. This is your swadharma. To study Vedanta is swadharma. Yet people come to me and say, I can't come to class because I'm doing swadharma and raising a family. The two are not opposed because one is on the level of the infinite, the absolute. The other one is just a finite, is just all connected to the finite, the world of the finite, means and ends. So the Lord says, I will carry. This is a promise. Like this, there are many verses in the Gita which give certain promises. Name bhaktah pranashyati. My devotee is never destroyed. Name bhaktah pranashyati. A devotee of mine is never ever destroyed. That is one such promise, and this is another one. Yogakshemam vahami aham. I will intervene and give me the prayers. Let me pursue prayers on your behalf. Bhagavan says. Why? Because that's my job. In fact, when you pursue prayers, you are taking over my portfolio. Give back to Bhagavan what belongs to Bhagavan. Bhagavan is karma phala data, and Bhagavan is going to give you whatever you're supposed to get. Bhagavan is going to give you. Don't worry. You just pursue whatever you are supposed to pursue. What are you supposed to pursue? Shreyas. I'm going to make you room. I'm going to make you room in your life. You always say, I have no time to study Vedanta, too many responsibilities. I'm going to make you room. I'm going to make you space to study Vedanta by lifting off of your shoulders the burden of carrying this world of prayers for you and your loved ones. I'll take it away from you because it's my job. If you do somebody else's job, then it's very annoying because you don't know what to do. It's not satisfying. You do your own job. And what is your job? Ananya Chintanam. Ananya Chintanam means the understanding of oneself as non-separate from me, from Ishvara. Chintana here is not worry or thinking. It's contemplation, inquiry. A contemplation that has arisen because of a judicious self-inquiry. Ananya Chintanam. So those who are engaged in Vedanta, because that is what Ananya Chintanam is. The non-duality is that's what it is. Ananya Chintanam, those who are wedded to non-duality and as a form of worship. That is their worship. Not something they put on their altar and sit and gaze at the altar all day long. That's not the worship these people are doing. Their worship is in knowing who I am and knowing me as non separate from themselves. That is their worship. So, those who are engaged in this kind of worship, for them, and not just one time, okay? Oh, I attended one Vedanta class, but I haven't got any yoga kshema. One keeps the score, okay? I wanted this, and I attended Vedanta class when? 5 years ago. Nothing yet has happened. That's why the Lord adds one more phrase. Nitya abhiyuktana means those who are constantly committed. This is a committed pursuit. Without this, one is fit to be committed, really. This is a very, very committed pursuit. Meaning, it needs exposure to this knowledge for a length of time until all those wrong ideas which were browbeating you into mediocrity are gone. That's why it's not enough to just attend one class somewhere and then finish and say, oh, I did that and nothing happened. Tesham, for them who are what? Nitya abhiyuktana, who are constantly at it. What do I do? Yoga and kshema, I take care of. I take care of that. Why? It's my portfolio. You don't worry about that. You do what you're supposed to do. I'm not coming in the way of your pursuit. I have left it to you. Your job as a human being, your only job really is to get rid of self-ignorance. Otherwise, you could be born as a fish, keeping on fishing for compliments from the past life samskaras of the fish. Okay. Keeping on fishing for validation, fishing for compliments, fishing for this, that, or the other. One could be born as a guppy. One could be born as a bear. Why? Because finally it's a life that is bearable. Because you can intimidate others. You're big and you can just stand up on two legs and then everybody goes running. Maybe there is some kick to that. Who knows? You could be born a bear. You could be born a big cat. You could be born a dog. But then Bhagavan has given you this particular body, this particular mind. What are you doing? Well, the only thing you can do with this is study Vedanta. Because you can, even animals build houses. The groundhog burrows into the ground, the moles, groundhogs do these kinds of this jati of animals, and birds build nests. Certain other animals make certain, makeshift houses. Everybody builds houses. Everybody knows how to reproduce. Knows how to eat, sleep, all these things. What distinguishes the human being? The ability to pursue this knowledge completely without really going back and forth all the time. Fully committed. A committed pursuit is what is needed, and the ability to pursue that alone requires a human body and the buddhi to do that. The buddhi, that is vyavasayatmika, nishchayatmika buddhi, comes from this alone. And so that is the final step is to understand that I cannot waste this human life. I cannot waste this life. Because the life that is not dedicated to the pursuit of Vedanta is indeed a wasted life. This I have to understand. And therefore, Shreyas, therefore shine. And I began this talk, the final lecture, by saying that there are not two different things. There is only one thing. And what is that one thing? It is Shreyas alone. Why? Because Shreyas includes prayers. See, we already got a promise from Bhagavan. Whatever you need, you will have. So do not worry. Just focus on what you have to do, which is get rid of your ignorance of yourself as non-separate from me. We already saw that. Here is one more way to overcome the fear of Shreyas. Because if you choose Shreyas, it includes prayers, because Shreyas, being limitless, includes the so-called limited things, so-called finite things. All that is there is one infinite, all-knowing, sentient, conscious being that never comes to an end. Ananta, Sarvabhyapi, all pervades. If this is not known, then I get mired in all the objects, names, and forms. Mired in these objects, I don't know how to extricate myself. So when I focus on the subject, which is I alone, all the objects are included. Prayas comes along for free. Sarvan kaman samashnute. This one tells us, what is that? The Taittiriya Upanishad. One gains knowing Brahman. Brahmavid apnoti param. Gains the ultimate. What is this ultimate? Sarvan kaman samashnute. All the desires are felt in one stroke. Oh, that means one overrides the desires. No, one understands oneself as fullness itself. And also on the relative level, everything comes. Whatever you don't want also comes. Whatever you want comes again and again, it comes. And even if you say, I have enough, I don't want, it still keeps coming. All you have to do is dedicate your life to this. And that doesn't mean you don't have other pursuits, but those pursuits subserve this pursuit. How? You make those pursuits into a way of helping you grow out of the need for the feeding bottle or the pacifier. That is what one has to do. And when that is there, there's only Shreyas that shines. Choosing Shreyas is choosing prayers is like choosing the dazzle, whatever dazzles, whatever glitters, is choosing the costume without seeing who's behind it. And therefore, one has to, one chooses Shreyas not out of default, but out of a self-love that will no longer brook any more delays in its discovery. I care about the truth of myself. I care about this love, the love that is directed towards the self, the love that is an expression of the self. I want to discover that. I care about it so deeply that I commit to Shreyas. Everything called prayers comes along. Nothing is left out. And without this salient choice in the pursuit of self knowledge, it is very, very difficult, almost impossible to see one's way forward. All that one has to know, in conclusion, is that Shreyas is not one more thing to pursue in the life. In fact, it is the truth of everything that you pursue. Whatever you pursue, it actually you really want Shreyas. But you don't know that and you just go for prayers. That is what one has to know. It's not one more thing, it is the only thing that is there. Prayers is just a spin off, a projection, as it were. Because if you ask anybody pursuing prayers, why are you doing this? In order to be contented, in order to be happy, in order to be secure. Well, all those things are Shreyas alone. Better to pursue Shreyas knowingly rather than unknowingly get caught up in prayers. This is what the message of the Kathopanishad is. So let's stop here and take some questions. And then I want to also hear from all of you and see what are some highlights you are taking from this. So the first question, would it be possible to have an appointment with you? Yes, certainly. You can email me and then we will take it from there. All right. And I will give you my email address and then you can email. Then there is one more question. Small clarification. Every time I hear this verse from chapter 9, while chanting Vishnu Sahasranama, I feel that it is a promise of emptiness. When we quit uh, our association for materialistic pursuits and pursue only Ishvara, then there are no expectations from this empirical world. And hence, there is no yoga. So, when there is yoga, then what is that Krishna is doing with Kshema? Isn't it a promise of emptiness? No, no, no. Ishvara is not a thing to pursue. No, no, no. There is no contradiction here. Because Ishvara is not a thing to pursue. Ishvara is you. Ishvara is not an object of pursuit in the same way as chocolate cake or something like that. Ishvara is the truth of chocolate cake and any other things that might be there. Of all cakes and eggs, that is the truth is Ishvara. that is Ishvara. Ishvara is not one more thing to pursue. So it's not that you leave this and go and sit and think of Ishvara. Ishvara is not an object that is enclosed in a thought. The truth of the thinker and the thought both is Ishvara. And so therefore, it is not emptiness here because it's not you don't quit your association or your pursuit for material, you quit associating with materialistic pursuit and pursue only Ishvara. That is, as I said, a very surface level reading of this. So Shreyas is that which includes all your pursuits. That we have to understand at first. And while you pursue other things, you see them as you pursue them with the spirit of karma. It is as though you are seeing them for what they are, and you say, I want to pursue this for self growth, for inner maturity. That is what the pursuit is. I don't know if I got the last part about yoga and Kshema. Let's see. This is, yeah, then materialistic pursuits and pursue, and then there is no yoga. Yes, there is yoga. Yoga means, whatever yoga is there, because the person is not solely pursuing this. The person has other pursuits, and the person is put those pursuits on the back burner, or understands that they subserve this pursuit. Yoga is there. Yoga means desire. Desire is there. Kshema is another kind of desire that is also there. So Kshema and yoga are there. It's not a promise of empty. I'll take care of your desires if you direct your desire to just gaining me as the truth of yourself. That is the idea. I hope that was clear. Is Shreyas synonymous with Om? Yes, you can say that. Shreyas is both the pursuit and the end of the pursuit, because in Vedanta, the pursuit, the pursuer, and the destination are all one. Seeker is the sought. And so the pursuit is yourself, and another way to say yourself is Om. No problem. I'm sorry, I have to leave early. Okay, no problem. That's fine. And so this is this, and let us just say the closing prayer. And I'd like to hear from you something that stood out for you, something that you would like to highlight, some takeaway for you that you would like to share. All right. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. You can unmute yourself and share something. After all, they say, what is that? 1/4 of the knowledge comes from the teacher. What? I've spent the whole long weekend only to get 1/4 of the knowledge? What do you mean? The other fourth comes from sahapathis, from the other people who are studying with you. It's a very important exercise. And the third comes through your own, through your own cogitation with the knowledge. You let it sit, you ask questions, you think about it, and you meditate. That is there. And then the last fourth comes in time. You cannot hurry it up, like a flower blooming. So here, this is not an empty empty exercise. It has a purpose. Harinder, thank you for what you shared. I'm having a little trouble with my eyes. I have gazed at the screen for the whole weekend. So can you please read it out?
Yes, Swamiji, I said the love and innocence of Nachiketa always puts me in touch with the innocence and love of that inner child very easily. And when I listen with a relaxed mind and heart, notes to self come out. And in this class, when I was listening to the part about fears of success and failure, the note to self was, you are self-shining. You never need to be afraid of or frustrated with anything, dear one. You are love. You are Om.
Wonderful. Very, very nice. Clap, 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 clap. Okay. Any others?
Swamiji's last 4-5 lectures have been very, very, very big message on Shreyas and prayers and Shraddhavan Jnanam Labhyate. I take this message, and the picture you are showing today about Yama and Nachiketa is little different than the beginning one. So it looks like Bhagwan Yama is also doing namaskaram to Nachiketa.
It's very perfect for the last class.
Your name, you can put your name, Marcella.
My name is Lalji Mishra.
He's from Maryland. Yes.
Listen to me, you put in silence.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Shraddhavan Labhate Jnanam, that's a very nice takeaway to have.
Pranam Swaminiji.
Yes. Who is
This is Swati from New Jersey.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Let me
Talking about Shreyas and Prayas also reminded me of a verse from chapter 18. I think it's 46. Yatta dagre vishamiva.
Yes.
What
Verse
is
17, I think.
okay?
17 or 18. And anyway, yeah, I know that which is
Good
difficult
in
in
the
the
beginning.
beginning. Yeah, that which looks difficult in the beginning, but then you end up in joy afterwards. That is sattvic pursuit, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I can't find you to highlight you. Where did you go?
I'm
I'm
here.
not. Do you have your camera off? Are you listening through it on the phone?
No, I'm very much here, Swami ji.
Where are you? I'm not finding you at all.
Raising her hand.
Second page, I think, maybe.
Second page, okay. We are all having different views. So let's just see. Where is she hiding? Like I said, I have been staring at the screen for so long. Ah, there you are. I'm glad you made you made some kind of a thing there. Okay, there you are. Excellent. Yeah. So next, wonderful.
Swamiji,
Oh,
I'm and Rajesh from Lansdale, Pennsylvania.
Yes. Tell me.
So a few things that resonated well and sunk in much clearly now. The one thing that you said about desires are not to be controlled but must be managed.
Yes.
A misconception which sunk very well. It removed a lot of misconceptions, I should say. The other thing that I resonated well with was about the prayer. We should pray for more of you in me and less of me in me.
Yes, exactly. More Ishvara means less complaints. More
Yes,
less of me means less complaints. More
Yes.
Ishvara, more accommodation, more Ishvara, more objectivity.
Yes, and Shreyas and prayers, uh, very nicely, elusively explained. Thank you so much for that.
All Pujya Swamiji's grace. Thank you.
Pranam Swamini ji.
Yes.
Yeah, I or
I
Swamini
couldn't
ji
hear
has.
you. You went in and out, so please repeat that.
I feel Vedanta challenges established norms, and it is difficult to wrap one's mind around the vastness of the truth, and because one feels limited. So the operative word is feel over here. And Swamini ji, you take us to a place and show us how one can not just intellectually appreciate, but also internalize the truth that God is all there is. And for that, I am forever indebted to you for the knowledge that frees and to have and to keep Shreyas. Thank you.
Oh.
Namaste Swamiji, this is Parag Raval from
Namaskar.
Namaskar. This thought that we can pursue Shreyas in that it is the infinite and therefore the finite comes along with it too was quite powerful, because as one who wants to pursue this with more time and attention, the question arises, what about the circumstances that one needs to support oneself? And so to have that confidence that a certain shraddha there too, that it'll be taken care of, do not worry, it gives the heart a little courage, I should say. It gives the heart a little courage. And but the related question comes that as one pursues knowledge and becomes established in it, is it experienced? Does one experience all that is as Ishvara?
Yes. Basically, that's really what it is. All that is there is Ishvara alone. That Ishvara is you. That also we have to see that there is no separation. And so in the first instance, one may say, Yatra yatra mano yati tatra tatra tapapada pankajam. Wherever the mind wanders, oh Lord, are your lotus feet. This is still a frontier of duality. As one becomes more established in the knowledge and with all the doubts and the fears and everything gone, then the tune changes to yatra yatra manoyati tatra tatra samadhayah. Wherever I encounter, wherever the mind wanders in this vast jagat of names and forms, I encounter myself. There is an immediate samadhi, there is a resolution of subject and object, because the object is non-separate from the subject. And the subject cannot be resolved.
Namaste. Thank you so much.
Oh, please
Pranam
write to
Swami
me.
ji. I have to leave.
Okay, thank you. Please write to me.
I
And
will.
I have given my email address there.
I have it. Thank you.
Om Swaminiji,
Yes, who is that?
Karthik and Archana from
Oh,
Winchester.
wonderful. Very nice.
Namaste.
I didn't see you earlier, so I was glad you were able to join.
Yes. So Om Swaminiji, thank you for the comfort of knowing that there is only one pursuit, and that is Shreyas. And once one dedicates oneself to that pursuit, then all the other pursuits just kind of fade away or are part of that one pursuit. So that's very comforting, and that is what I take from the President's Day retreat. Thank you. Very blessed. Om Swami.
So happy to see you both. So happy you could join.
Amen.
Namaste. Yeah, Namaste Swaminiji. I just want to tell everybody, in 2008, I went to attend a class in Shiva Vishnu Temple so that I can learn from Swaminiji to teach Balavihar kids, and then realize that I need to myself learn. Since then, I've been learning from Swamiji. So I was trying to teach somebody else, my kids, but then I'm like, I have to do. But anyway, I think somebody had asked about Nachiketa's third question. I think that was a very, very important question. It is about Ishvara, something beyond dharma and adharma.
Yeah.
Something
Yes.
is, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think that was an amazing question that Nachiketa asked, and that's one of the pure essence of this. It's about Ishvara. It's about that thing that's beyond. Yeah, you also say, oh yeah, I know dharma, I know adharma, I understand all these things, and I'm also doing it. But what is it that is beyond that? That is about that? What is it that I love this the sentence that you made? What is it that upholds dharma and adharma? The underlying entity. That was amazing. Thank you, Swamiji.
Om.
Namaste, Swaminiji. This is Kalpana.
Yes, got it. I recognize your voice because I had heard it recently. Tell me.
Namaste. So one first thing that I would say is I am, I don't know if I should mention, but initiated in Valbhacharya ji, and when you mentioned, knowing from live Guru, and I, since last 4 or 5 years that I've been listening to you, your teachings and the way you present everything has helped me understand even my Guru, who is not there, but he's there in spirit, but your teachings has really helped me. Going from always was a mumukshu, but now I've become more like a jignasu. I want to know how I can be this free from this myth of normal, like the life has normalized in such a weird way that we follow there and we just feel stuck. And I was feeling that. And
in fact, it's very abnormal.
Yeah.
Not normal at all.
Yeah, and so every moment trying to notice that is this really normal, or am I making abnormal a normal life, and trying to free myself from that. And you have helped me, and just I'm going to follow you, and we'll see where my life leads me. But thank you so much for this wonderful retreat. I really appreciate all the teachings. Hari Om. Hari Om. Om.
Hari Om Swaminiji. It was a beautiful lecture. We learned. Are you able to see me? I'm Rakesh Mangal from.
Yes. I just saw you. Your lips moving. Good. Yes.
Yes. So I just want to know if you are able to differentiate Atma from Anatma. The Shreyas come itself,
Please repeat that. If you are able to distinguish what?
Atma
Atma?
from Anatma,
Yes. Yes.
The Shreyas come itself, You don't run after prayers,
Yes. You don't run after prayers and you are focused on Atma. Then you understand that in the beginning you make a distinction, Atma and Anatma. But then really Anatma is nothing but Atma. Prayas is nothing but Shreyas.
Yeah, what you said, like finite is being supported by infinite.
Yes. Yes. True.
Yeah.
Finite is non-separate from infinite, but the infinite has nothing to do with the finite. It's an as though projection of the finite, of the infinite. Yeah. Correct.
Namaste, Swaminiji. This is Bhaskar and Lalita from Detroit.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to just briefly mention about this Yoga Kshema promise that Bhagavan Krishna made.
Yeah.
That sloka really resonates with me very well, and it's comforting to know that he's going to take care of our Yoga Kshema when we pursue Shreyas. And just wanted to add one more thing. If Yogakshema was an easy thing to do, he will not promise that. It must be something very difficult. That's why Bhagavan is offering help.
Yes.
So that's one more thought I thought I will share.
Yoga Kshema is not easy. I mean, anybody who has tried fulfilling even one desire can tell you how difficult it is, how many things come in the way. And then after getting it, you don't want it. And then you can't give it back also in certain situations, especially if it's like a baby or something. You have to raise it for the rest of its life. So this is what it is. Kunti found herself in that situation. And so like this, the Yoga Kshema is not easy. Yoga Kshema is because it's not easy. You know why? Because it is dependent on karma phala. Yoga Kshema is affected by karma phala. So what you want to pursue, whether you get it or not, what comes in the way? What is the pratibandha? What is that which comes in the way? What comes in the way is karma, your own karma comes in the way. Correct? And so therefore, and who is the karma phala data? Bhagavan. And who is the Vigna Karta? Bhagavan. Who puts the impediments? Bhagavan. In the form of your own karma. And who has the power to take them away? Bhagavan. And he also knows, she also knows what desires not to fulfill. That is also there.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Oh.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om.
I may not be as eloquent as everybody else are, but every time I hear one line, my mind goes 1,000 other questions and doubts. So let me try to put everything together as clearly as possible for me. So when I do anything with single-minded focus, I'm not focused on anything else. If I'm focusing on Shreyas, Shreyas is gone. So I'm focusing only on Shreyas. Being a householder with a responsibility of spouse, my mortgage, my children's education, everything. If I don't focus on my career, my other stuff that I need to do, if I'm only on Shreyas, and there are many times we make prayers to the God, most 99% of the times the prayers answer is no. So how is that guarantee that this one is going to be yes? So how can I?
What is this one? Wait. What is this one? Backtrack a little bit for me. This one is going to be yes means what? What is this one?
This one is the prayers that I have to do, like especially like keeping up the home for mortgage for me. If I retire, some kind of a 401k balance for me, and if I die, something security for my wife and my kids' education. When they come to marriage, there is something, the responsibilities that we have as a householder. So that is the one what I need to pursue too. And when Krishna says, oh, don't worry, yoga. Yoga is, I'm taking up the yoga. So focus only on the non-materialist thing. And many a times I see that Kshema is missed out. So is it an empty promise is my question. That keeps coming back to me multiple times. Even
It's
I
not an
apologize.
empty promise. It's
told
not
me
an
very
empty promise, because you see, the thing is, it's not saying that you should not pay the bills. That would be very, what's the word for it? There is no accountability if you don't pay the bills. Correct? You're not doing your duty. There is a certain thing called duty, and you have duties. There are obligations. Think again of the example. Connect to that example of the person going to the airport. On the way, there are so many things that are accomplished on the way to the airport, but you don't lose sight of your destination. So you say, I am really focused on Shreyas, but on the way, I'm taking care of the mortgage. On the way, I'm paying the electricity bill. On the way to Shreyas, I'm doing this. On the way to do, and do it from a spirit of Karma Yoga, which is dedicating and say, I'm not the doer, Bhagavan is doing this through me. Number one. And whatever results come out of this, I am taking that as prasada. And when I take it as prasada, when every no that comes, I take it as prasada, I know more and more. I know I grow. I know and I grow. I grow more and more. And that is the growth that we look at. That is what we look at. Okay. So there's not an empty promise. It's a promise for self-growth.
Where is the doership coming there, Swaminiji? Because here, once again,
Doership is not coming. You are not the doer. You say Bhagavan is doing and I'm just an instrument. That is the growth. So that's why you drag in Bhagavan as a proxy doer, and you drag in Bhagavan as the giver of the results. You understand Bhagavan is the giver of the results of action. Somebody has their hand raised. Who is that?
It is me. I think I wanted to really appreciate, I don't know, Surekha is the name, to ask this question. It's a really very good question. Surekha and whoever, I think
Praveen.
Praveenji. I
Yes.
think it's a really good question because I'm also a householder. I have a wife, 2 children. I go to work. I think the important thing is that, like Swaminiji said, and this is the teaching. This is what it takes my entire life to actually hope, to get there. And the idea is that every action, this is what I have learned from Swaminiji, every action that I do, every time I go to work, every time I do a project, it is to be done with love, with devotion, with the attitude of prasada buddhi and arpana buddhi, and not worry about the results. And the results will automatically be taken care of. This understanding is what I practice. I try to practice on a daily basis. Yes, from time to time, it becomes difficult, but you have to then come back to that particular stage. And also attending these lectures, following these things, these are all mechanisms to get you there. So I think the way I look at it, even in Bhagavad Gita, that's exactly what is said by Krishna to Arjuna, which is, he says, I want to just run away. I don't want to do these things. And he says, no, you need to do what you need to do. But at the same time, keep your eye on the most important goal. So the goal is not to take care of the family. That's not the only goal. The goal is a much bigger goal. It's just that these are all things that you need to do to achieve that goal in the most beautiful way. That's how I look at it. I don't know. That's what I have learned over time. Swaminiji, please correct me if I'm.
Very well said. So it is just you take it one day at a time. And today I am just dedicating this to Ishvara. Everything that I do and whatever comes back is prasad. You take it one day at a time. Otherwise, it becomes very overwhelming. So that is how to do it. Yes, you raise your hand. You want to say something? Or was it just an accident? You raised your hand? Agarwalji? Did you raise your hand because you want to say something?
No, ना स्वामी जी नहीं मैं समझ ना मेरा समझ नहीं आता कैसे क्या करना है सॉरी
अच्छा,
आई
कोई
डिडंट
बात
रेज एनी हैंड
कोई बात नहीं ओके नो प्रॉब्लम
Swami ji, if nobody else has a question, this is
who else has a question or a comment? Many hands are there now. Yes.
I'm not raising my hand. Thank you.
Sharada, did you raise your hand?
Yes. Hello, Sharada from San Francisco.
Hello,
I really
Sharada.
appreciated it when I heard, hi. I appreciated it when I heard God does answer your prayers. Sometimes the answer is not yet, and sometimes the answer is no.
Yes.
But there is an answer.
Correct. Correct. This is how to see it. Thank you for sharing that. And some other people again. Who else is there? Vasu, you want to say something?
Yes, Swamiji,
Yes.
my eyes are not that good and I can't figure out how to raise the hand on screen.
And that's okay. You managed. You really raised your hand like this. So that was perfect.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah,
The two words that really caught me in this, I mean, the whole lecture series was absolutely wonderful. It's nice to revisit those two important verses out of Kathopanishad. And the two words that you used, that Ishwarais and Ishwarification, I think are very important in how we engage in the world, because that's the biggest issue we have is when we're engaging in the world, we forget that this is preyas and not shreyas, and we get caught up.
Yes.
So the use of the Ishwarification and Ishwarization really helps to put you back on track, because it's very easy to fall off the track, as it were. And so those two words really were wonderful reminders, and I'm just going to put them on little cards around my house so that as I'm working and I see those words, it'll put me
Nice.
back on track.
Nicely
Thank you.
Nicely put. Thank you.
Thank you, Amma.
Thank you. Take care. Anybody else?
Can
Want
I
to
ask
say-
one?
Yeah,
One more
please go ahead.
Now, when we talk about meditation, and the practice, we also talk about it called Sakshi Bhava. So does Sakshi Bhava happen?
Yeah, Sakshi Bhava means being a witness.
Being a witness. Is that before this Ishvara, that God is everything, and Sarvatma Bhava, does that come after?
Yes. Sarvatma Bhava, Sakshi Bhava is a precursor to Sarvatma Bhava. First, I observe why should I be in the process, in the place of the observer, because I tend to think of myself as the body, as the mind, and everything. And so when I am in the place of the observer, I am away from all this.
Speaking.
Everything is me, but I am away from all this. This is what I have to see. And that, what is this I? That is that I, which is the truth of this body-mind complex, is equated to Ishvara, is equated to everything here. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. That is Sarvatma Bhava. Yes.
Thank you.
That correctly. Yes. Anybody else wants to say anything?
Swamiji, one question. This is Rajesh and Banu again from Lansdale.
Yes.
Bhagavan says, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat jnanad dhyanam vishishyate.
12th chapter. Ayyo. Okay, yeah. Then?
Sorry, Swamiji, but
Tell me.
when Praveenji was talking, he said, all of us, we have our responsibilities that we have to render. But Bhagavan says, do we have to renunciate in order for us to pursue Shreyas?
No. He doesn't say it. He doesn't say you have to renounce. And the 12th chapter is just sort of distills this. Like, if you're not able to do this, at least do this. If you're not able to do this, then at least do this. So, jnanam, abhyasat jnanam shreya. Instead of just repeating the mantras, understand their meaning and then grow from that is shreya. But if that's not there, then meditate. If you can't sit and meditate, then you do seva. If you can't do seva, do devotion. Like this, slowly, slowly, it just brings you to a place where you can do that. But it doesn't say you have to renounce. You have to renounce internally, yes. You have to renounce internally. Because otherwise the head is filled with, what is that? The head is filled with prayers. There is no room. So some inner renunciation in the sense of letting the feeding bottle drop. That is the inner renunciation. It's the addiction, really. It's not really giving up things, but it's giving up the addiction to things. Does that make sense?
Thank you, Swaminiji.
Thank you. Any other thoughts, comments? ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you very much for thank you to all that everybody that participated. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama.
Take care.
Thank
All
you.
the best.